Good Wednesday morning. It's time for the North Carolina Vinyl Picker Show, and today we're going to talk about audiophile records. I'm going to show you what I have. I looked it up online. I've been wondering what albums are audiophile. People on the internet and in the vinyl community, they talk about this one and that one, and this is audiophile, and you got to have a certain stereo to play audiophile records. And what are audiophile records? Well, Quiex II records, according to Google, are audiophile records. Nautilus super discs, half-speed masters, Sheffield Labs, Japanese OB pressings, original master recordings. Those are all audiophile pressings. So let's talk about Quiex II for a second. The purity of the vinyl and the use of dye instead of carbon black, which creates noise. Quiex pressings are desired by collectors and audiophiles. And I just happen to have a few of them right here, and I'll show you what I have. And they sound fantastic. This one here is a sought-after one on Quiex II. And I paid, I only paid like 20 bucks for mine. I was patient and I waited, and I finally found one online for about $20. But they go north of $75 for that pressing right there. Laurie Anderson, there's a Quiex II. Problem with Quiex II with me is there's very few records that I really care to get. So I want to get maybe the Police one and a couple others. But a lot of the music I listen to is not on Quiex II. Peter Gabriel's be nice to get. This is, of course, Glenn Frey, the All-Nighter. And Paul Simon, Hearts and Bones. It's a fantastic record. They sound really good. And this George Winston on Windham Hill, come to find out, is Quiex II. Now, some of them came out without the stickers on them, and I probably have more in there. I just have to go ahead and root them up and find them. Nautilus records. Started in 1977, specialized in high-quality, half-speed masters, known for super discs. Released about 56 records and then albums before they closed down in the mid-'80s. So which ones do I have for Nautilus records? Well, I have a couple. I have the Heart, Dreamboat Annie, which is a fantastic record. And these all sound incredible. I picked this up at a record show for like 20 bucks. So they're out there and you can pick them up if you can find them. So that one's a really good one. This one here I found at an antique mall for $10 on The Threshold of a Dream, the Moody Blues on super disc. And I've never had a bad pressing on any of these. They all sound really good. This one here I just played like 5 minutes ago. This is the Jean-Luc Ponty, and it's Cosmic Messenger on super disc. And I'm not sure, but it doesn't say Nautilus on here, but it still says super disc. So I'm assuming this one here is Nautilus. And we'll move on to the next one. I'm glad you're with me today, doing my Wednesday show. Half-speed masters, master sound, CBS, audiophile pressings. When cutting the acetate lacquers, the cutting platter is run at 16 2/3 RPM for 33 1/3 records. Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab used half-speed mastering for all its original master recording LPs. And here are the ones that I have. Weather Report. This sounds fantastic. This is Heavy Weather. This is with Jocko. This really good. Let me get all my records here. I just filed all my records today. Now I pulled all these out and I got to put all these back. But luckily, I'm just going to keep all my audiophile records right here. And when I go through all my records again, I'm going to see if I can find a few more, and I'll bring them to the table to show you. Al Di Meola, Elegant Gypsy. Incredible. Sounds incredible. Jeff Beck, Blow by Blow. Audiophile record. Says so right on here. Master CBS Sound audiophile pressing. So it must be an audiophile. Here's the creme de la creme. This is Wish You Were Here. And these all sound very good. They sound very good on my stereo. Tubular Bells. Audiophile pressing. Sheffield Labs is next up. Founded by Doug Sachs in California. It was direct to disc. With the music in the studio going right to the cutting, the record, no in between, with tape straight to the lacquer. This is the only one I have. And I've had this on CD, and I still have it on CD, and I have this one here on vinyl. You can see on here, I paid $6 for this, at a record show about a year ago. Apparently the guy didn't know what he had. This album this is probably the best sounding record I have ever heard in my entire life. Next to my quad pressing of Dark Side of the Moon, which sounds incredible. But this one here is right to the disc. They must have had him right there in the studio, and they played the music, and it went right to the lacquer. There's no in between. There's no tape. There was nothing. As far as I know, that's how they did it. Direct to disc, Doug Sax, the late Doug Sax. This sound here, James Newton Howard and Friends, and this is a jazz fusion record. And if you've never heard this record, and if you love jazz fusion, it doesn't sound dated either. It's definitely 80s, early 80s, 83. Great album. It's got Jeff Beccaro on here. It's got a few people on here that plays with him. I'll show you the back cover. It's kind of really glossy, isn't it? That plastic that's on there. Here you go. Is that better? Some of the guys from Toto's on here. It's an awesome record. If you can find a copy for cheap. I sold my other one. I had another copy. I had my original copy. I sold in my store. Then I kept this one here. So now we're talking about Obies. We're talking about Obies. Everybody loves the Obies, and they're collecting records, and sometimes you find them and the Obi's not on there. It's really the sash that the Japanese people wore for their kimono, but they went ahead and they put it on the record to make it look cool, and then it's all in Japanese, and then they'll put on here the name of the album, and sometimes they'll even list all the tracks on there, like on the back, which you can't see because I got the cover on there. Oh, this is not going to see it either. Anyway, if you turn this Obi around, you would see the other side, and it has track listing of some of the records that I'm going to be showing you. The Japanese pressings were used virgin vinyl. They used virgin vinyl, where other U.S. European countries used recycled vinyl. Some audiophiles love the Obies as well, like I was saying, some not. Some say this the country of origin is the best pressings, like the Beatles records. You want to get the ones from England, or any of the bands like were overseas and they were over from England or Poland or any of those countries over there. You need to get the vinyl that's actually from their country. And the U.S. pressings for like U.S. people like Kansas or any of those people that are U.S. bands, you want to get the pressings that from the country of origin. But some people say that the virgin vinyl on the Obi, on the copies, are the best. So here's one here. This is the Moody Blues. This is Every Good Boy Deserves Favor. And here is our Children's Children with the Obi. Here's this is the Moody Blues with the Obi. This is Julian Lennon, Velat with the Obi. And these are really cool. I really like them a lot. Here's one I just got this week. I just played it a few minutes ago. It's the UK album with Holsworth, Wetton, Bill Bruford, John Wetton. I said John Wetton. Who did I forget? Oh, Eddie Jobson. It's the first UK album. Second album only had two of them in the band. Wetton and Bruford and Holsworth left the band while they were kind of pushed out. Supertramp, Crime of the Century. Isn't that a pretty one? With the nice Obi. This is Kate Bush, Never Forever. Now this is an example of the Obi wasn't with this album. I didn't have it. I shouldn't have bought it. I should have waited and got one with the Obi. I have to replace that someday. Here's Lionheart with the Obi. I want to get a couple more of hers. On Stage with the Obi. And that's all my Obis. That's all my Obis. All my Japanese Obis. Original Master Recordings. Original Master Recordings. This is my last one, folks. You've hung in this long. I only got a couple more minutes. I'm almost to the finish line. Original Master Recordings, founded in 1977, using half-speed mastering. 2016, they launched new Ultra One-Step, and in 2022, there was controversy, and you can read all about that online. With the they were using other sources rather than for the original tape, and they were claiming they were using the original tape. So there's a whole controversy about that. It was studied and restudied in the vinyl community and looked at and turned over and flipped over and everything else and talked about for years. I have Sound Great on my system, and they continue to make albums, and they all sound fantastic. These are the older ones. Now, the newer ones, they've come out with newer ones, but this is Genesis, Trick of the Tail, on the original master. Emerson, Lake and Palmer, pictures at an exhibition, an original master recording, direct to disc. Now, Abbey Road, this was given to me my friend John, who I'm going to see soon, and he gifted this to me. And there's Abbey Road in the original master recording. Supertramp, Crime of the Century. I just showed you the one with the Obi. Now this is the original master copy. You find out a lot of times, this is one I found up in Alaska, when I was up in Alaska last year. And this is iRobot. Sometimes they came in these special boxes. And that's it. That's all I got for you today. I'm glad you stuck around. And if you like my show, sub me up, hit the bell, and you'll know the next time the North Carolina Vinyl Picker comes on. I've gotten about 10 new subs this week, so I appreciate each and every one of you. And we'll be seeing you on this Saturday or Sunday or sometime in the future. Real soon, we're going to be doing another show. So take care, and we'll be seeing you soon. Bye for now.